Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, React and Chill. I'm Dika. So last time on Bleach, Ichigo had mastered Ultra Instinct. Okay, just kidding. No, Ichigo had the ability to hone in his resolve. So basically, to be able to, his fear was being reflected in his Sanpakuto, and he was able to use this technique. As Kisuke was trying to show him the new technique, he was able to use this to be able to be incredibly strong and essentially actually use the power of his Sanpakuto. So from his training with Kisuke, he was able to outmaneuver Renji, and on top of that deliver the final, I hope it's not the final blow because I don't want Renji to die, but to deliver the ending blows. He broke Renji's Sanpakuto, and he was able to use his new power to completely cut across his chest. So in these final moments with Renji, he, I think, was coming to realization with the whole realization of the whole situation with Rukia, and we got a flashback to when he first met Rukia, when they first came across each other in the Rukon district. We also got a nice layout of how the Rukon district is, the struggle both himself and Rukia had went through, and we'd find out that essentially his goals, like his, I don't know if they were trying to imply that he might have liked Rukia in a romantic sense, but he was basically entrusting Rukia's, you could say, salvation, the fact to save her, into Ichigo's hands now. That he wanted to save her too, but he just, that time we saw the beginnings. Again, we don't know the reasoning as to why the Kusuke family adopted her, but we saw when Rukia had to make that decision, and Renji regrets not being able to stop her, you know, stopping her from going. So he entrusts that now to Ichigo to save her from that family, from the Kusuke family. And I'm just wondering what sort of family they are. I think the whole time, even though he was blaming Ichigo for her death, he feels like it was actually my fault. It was my fault that I'd let her go into that family. She had asked him, like, is this the right decision for me? And he'd said yes, because of obviously they were hustling at the time, they were trying to be soul reapers, but he feels like he'd let her down. And I think it just comes full circle now that him and Rukia had started off where they were always had each other's back, yet he felt like he failed her, and now he entrusts that to Ichigo, hopefully to move forward. Another thing that we found out is that the other lieutenants were, I wouldn't say questioning Renji's behaviour, but they had seen a change in his behaviour, and they weren't sure what that meant, especially when they found that he left his lieutenant badge outside. He had taken it off. So again, I'm not sure if that was like a defiance to the Soul Reapers or to the court guard squads or something along those lines. Again, I'm hoping Renji's not dead, but considering that he'd lost to Ichigo, I'm wondering if this will also mean his death, because that's why they pulled Gin up. Anyway, yes. So here we are with episodes 34 and 35. God, he must be shattered. That was... Oh.
Ichigo!
Oh, here they come.
Someone's coming. Looks like 3, or maybe even more of them. Right.
Yeah, grab that and leave.
Lieutenant Abarai! Sir, are you alright? Sir! This can't be. Our first priority here must be to take care of the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Call for a stretcher, quickly.
But we members of Squad 4 can use ours to heal.
Oh, nice.
It's practically our only power. It's a good thing, too, since we certainly aren't much use when it comes to fighting.
Oh, don't say that.
They are, as one would expect. After all, he took direct hits from the Zanpakuto of the Soul Reaper Lieutenant.
If only I'd gotten there in time to fight alongside him, then this never would have happened. I'll go make the call for the emergency relief team.
That is out of the question.
Oh my god.
I want Renji taken to prison.
But without treatment...
Then I'm afraid he'll die.
Oh my god.
It was his choice to enter that fight alone. In such a situation, a defeat is forbidden.
He's technically correct, because I was saying that he kind of went up against them. All the lieutenants were put in a room. The captains were the ones sent out.
Renji's there! Isuru!
Don't speak to him like, my god, look at his face.
I didn't didn't mean it, Captain. Please forgive me.
But don't worry about Renji. I'll call in Squad 4 so you won't get in trouble.
Wow, Renji is in bad shape. You still have to address me as a captain, you know.
Oh, you can forget about that.
I have come here to warn you.
About what?
Be careful dealing with Squad 3. What I meant was Ichimaru. But watch Izuru too.
The situation has become critical. As a result of recent events, the 13 court guard squads are now short by 1 lieutenant. Subsequently, no disciplinary measures will be taken against Ichimaru for his earlier independent actions.
Thank you, sir.
Shall hereby be allowed to carry the Zanpakuto at all times, with full wartime usage of their powers.
Anyway, he's fair game now, just the way I wanted.
So use their full powers.
Hey, it's good to see you're finally awake. It's been a while. Ichigo, lie down.
Thanks, Anataro, but I'll be fine now. I've really got to get going.
Are you crazy?
Oh, it's gone.
Obviously, he wasn't ready yet if I could knock him out that easily.
Did you have to be so rough, Ganju?
Hey, you wanted him to stop, but I stopped him. Don't complain about how I did it.
True.
I wonder if the mask I found inside his Shihakusho absorbed some of the blow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wonder what it could be.
That's like a hollow
It
mask.
looks too much like the face of a hollow.
Oh, Renji. Why did you attack the Ryoko all alone? Ow! Hey! Why do you have to be so serious all the time?
If you don't take it seriously, then you're not learning. It'll be more of a challenge than beating up on a girl.
Oh, is that so?
Momo? Oh, quit acting so embarrassed.
1. All senior level officers, including lieutenants, are permitted to wear their swords within the court.
Wartime orders. Permission to carry swords and use deadly force. Why did it have to come to this? Captain Eisen may know what it all means. I know this is incredibly rude of me, but can I talk to you for a little while about some things?
Oh, man, it hurts. I'm glad you're finally awake. How do you feel?
The nerve of that big clumsy bastard sucker punching an injured man. You better believe I remember it.
Actually, Ichigo, you really ought to rest a little longer. I guarantee we're safe down here.
How is Lieutenant Abarai's recovery coming along?
Oh, he's stable and not in danger anymore.
So Renji will be allowed to return to his post once he's finally recovered.
I'm so glad.
Despite their differences, no one in all the 13 court guard squads would rejoice in Renji's dismissal.
If it wouldn't bother you, could I stay with you a while longer?
Is that why the
Stay as long as you like.
music started playing?
Thank you. Oh dear. I'm sorry, Captain. I was so tired I fell asleep. 10 o'clock. Look at how late I am.
Gosh, and you have to run miles and miles. Oh, look at those stairs.
I actually made it.
Oh! Who was that?
What is it, Momo? Please, tell me what happened.
Shit!
What's all this racket so early in the morning?
Is that Gin? Yeah. He's gonna be looking suspicious.
Yes, it certainly
Yeah.
is a tragedy.
If you ever see Captain Eisen go out walking alone.
But would you have done it? Oh my god. I know, yeah. His lieutenant.
Izuru, stand aside.
I can't do that.
He's a murderer, Izuru. Let me go.
You know that I cannot.
Stand aside. I'll kill him.
Let him go! Can't you hear me? I'm telling you to remember your place!
Snap to me, Yume. Deflect.
Whoa! Oh my god!
lost your mind, Momo? You must never confuse public and private matters, Lieutenant! Since you're now a threat, I must eliminate you. Raise your head and prepare to die!
Yeah.
Place these two under arrest.
Wait a minute!
When your first priority should have been to take Captain Eisen's body down from up there.
Damn.
I believe that. Just now, you were about to kill Momo. But I'll tell you this. If you allow Momo's blood to be spilled, I promise you I'll kill you.
Give him a break, he's exhausted. A little bit of drool is no big deal. As a matter of fact, I am, thanks to Hinata.
Yeah.
He really is pretty amazing. She's waiting. And I didn't come here to tour the sewer system.
Ah! Stop it! Please get away from me! Besides, I'm not that kind of squad member, so stop it! Oh, good morning, sirs. Oh, you wouldn't want to know.
I wonder what happens to poor Hinata. So, what I want to know is what happens to the souls when they die in the Soul Society. Like, I assume they were dead, so is there another place they move on to when they die?
I was supposed to start classes at Mashiba High School today, in room 2F.
You're a junior? You mean you're in the same grade that I'm in?
Wait, are you sure you should be standing up?
Yeah, sure, why not? I feel alright. Apparently they don't like anybody who stands out. They're totally closed-minded that way. Come on, Chad, let's get a move on.
Call me Sado.
Is this where the nickname came from? Because like they call him Chad, but his name is Sado Yastora. So it's like.
And you obviously don't like being called Chad. Why not, though? I think it sounds cool.
It was a dream. I'm lying here dreaming of the past like some old man on his porch swing.
Call forth. Oof, here we go.
Good. There's nobody around. They figure that this is the last place we come back to.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Whoa, I am so full of energy now.
And besides, I can't see Chad ever losing.
Tell me where the repentance cell is. I asked the last guy I hit where Rukia Kuchiki was, and that's what he said just before he passed out.
I thought we'd never get here, but there it is. The repentance cell.
Oh, he's on his way up there as well.
He's here, Captain. It's the Ryolka. He must have overpowered the guards.
Wasn't expecting the guy so early. But what the hell? Guess I'd better head out there and give him a proper greeting.
Oh,
I'd never be able to forgive myself if my little Nanao went out to fight.
no.
You know I love it when you treat me bad. You're beautiful when you're heartless.
Enough with the meaningless compliments. If you're going, then just go!
We made it to the top.
Alright then, guys, let's just head straight for the tower.
Oh, be careful. Oh my god.
What the hell is this? Some kind of impossibly powerful spiritual pressure?
Yeah. Oh no, it's Kampachi! How can I forget? So that was episode 34 and 35. Still a lot of mystery, intrigue. Definitely there's something working inside, or someone that's working on the inside amongst the Soul Reaper or the Soul Captains. We had, after the fight between Renji and Ichigo, they both had collapsed, and Ganju and Hanataro had picked up Ichigo to try and tend to his wounds, and obviously there were other Soul Reapers on their way, mainly Izuru, the other lieutenant, that we found out he's the lieutenant for Squad 3, who's and he is Gin Ichimaru's lieutenant. So he'd come and he picked him up, brought him back to the barracks where he was with the other lieutenant, Momo Hinamori. So Momo Hinamori is the other lieutenant, and she was they were the ones that were talking about Renji earlier, about why did he take off his badge. So once they had brought him back and they were going to call someone to heal him, obviously Byakuya was there and he was ready to throw him in prison. He engaged with the Ryoka without no one's permission, and the fact that he went about, did that and lost is punishable anyway. So Momo was trying to argue to let him know that he's going to die. He was like, well, so be it, he should have not gotten involved. So Momo was literally, I was worried for her. She was about to get her ass handed to her because she was talking back to Captain Kuchiki. So after they excused themselves, that's when Gin turned up and said, don't you worry, I'll make sure I get him to the cell and make sure that he's got everything that he needs, yada yada yada. But just before they went their separate ways, we meet another captain of Squad 10, Toshiro, the little white-haired one, and who warned Momo about Squad 3. He said to them, you know, just be careful of them. Even Izuru, he's the guy who's training with. Sorry, that's her other lieutenant friend, Izuru, but he's the lieutenant for captain for Squad 3. So with Renji now in prison, and obviously they're healing him in there, Ichigo and gang decided to go back into the tunnels because Hanataro was very confident that no one's going to find them there. And he stated that Squad 4, they use their spiritual energy not for fighting but for healing. So he was going to use his spiritual energy to help heal both Ichigo, and obviously he took care of Ganju as well. He also discovered the hollow mask when Ichigo transformed, or when he finally transformed into a Soul Reaper. He had that hollow mask. That was under his Shihacho. So when he was clearing up his wounds, sorting out his shoulders, that was there, which he realized after tending to his wounds, the cuts in his shoulders weren't as deep. That had something to do with the masks there, and he was trying to think if that was connected, if it absorbed some of that and what it all meant. So Yamamoto, he was the old man captain who was addressing all the other captains. He had now declared war, so he gave wartime orders, which meant, I didn't realize that prior to that, you couldn't, like, only captains were allowed to hold their sanpakutos, but now higher ranking officers, including the lieutenants, were allowed to keep their sanpakutos on them at all times, and they're allowed to use the usage of their sanpakutos. So otherwise, apart from when they were using their sanpakutos as normal swords, they're allowed to actually release the power and use the spirit power or spirit being within their sanpakuto. So with all of this happening, and Momo felt a type of way, she felt like this was going to end in bloodshed. She went to see her captain, and her captain is she's the lieutenant for Captain Aizen, wanting to speak to him, be able to open up to him, kind of tell him how she's feeling, confide in him. So that happened in the morning, and she stayed round. In the morning, he was off. There was a person in the corner. I don't know if that was Gin, because I know that Aizen had a few not so nice things to say to Gin when Gin was being brought upon everyone. Oh, and during that meeting when Yamamoto had declared wartime orders, he also said that we also clear Gin of it. You know, basically there's no longer any issue because we now realize how dangerous the Ryoka are, and especially what happened to Renji. And yes, Momo was concerned with what was going to happen to Renji, especially how Byakuya dismissed him. But Aizen said, don't worry, we voted on it. Renji's still good. So in the morning, she'd overslept. As she was on her way to the meeting of the lieutenants, she had found Aizen impaled under the side of the building. And again, I mentioned this in the reaction. How do Soul Reapers, like, souls die? I thought they're already dead. So does their soul just disappear? I mean, they already have the ability to bleed. They have the ability to feel hunger, sleep, those sorts of things. So I'm just wondering what goes beyond their death in the Soul Society? What's beyond that? So that would be quite interesting to find out. So Momo was, of course, devastated, and Gin was right there, and she was ready to attack him, but she ended up dragging Izuru into a fight because Izuru, being his lieutenant, couldn't allow anyone to attack his captain. So he was trying to get her to stand down, and that didn't work because she literally unleashed her sanpakuto, which I missed the name for, which I'll find out, and I could write with my names and lists of people in sanpakutos. So she released her son Pakuto, and then he was ready to fight her because as she posed as a threat, he would have to take her down. So they were literally about to attack one another when it'll take me a while to get used to his name. Toshiro had jumped in and got them both arrested to say that, you know, Momo, what are you doing? You should have gotten your captain's body down. And he had a go at Izuru, so they both were nabbed. But at the same time, Toshiro had scolded Gin because I'm not sure what he was doing, but he had like some sort of move prepared to kill Momo if he had to. And Toshiro did say that if her blood spilled, I would have killed you myself. So a lot of people already don't trust Gin. He doesn't trust Gin. So they left it at that. As Ichigo, Ganju and Hanataro had made it to the final bit just before the cell, they were literally crushed by someone's spiritual pressure, and it was Kampachi, as he has been waiting to fight Ichigo since they entered the Serete. So he's about to, you know, Ichigo just about healed from that battle with Renji, and he's about to go straight into another one with the captain this time. So yes, that was it. These were again good episodes. We're finding out a little bit more. Like, it's nice that I'm getting a chance to meet all the different captains and all their lieutenants, because and I did realize the outro you get to see. So the blonde lady is which we'll find out her name is Toshiro's lieutenant, because you see the lieutenant and the captains together, which is actually quite nice. And I'm making a new list now of all the captains and lieutenants and what squads they're part of. So I'm really intrigued to see if it was definitely Gin. I personally, he is 100% number one person to be to suspect, but I don't know if it's as easy as that. I don't think it was him. I just feel like he's taking an opportunity of the situation. I don't entirely trust Aizen. I feel like Aizen has another goal in mind. There's something else going on, and I also think that when Momo came to speak to him, he was there to really get some information from her rather than comfort her, but I'm not sure. In that moment, Momo remembered what Toshiro had mentioned about be careful of squad 3, especially when Aizen goes out walking by himself. So I just feel like that's a bit too specific. So I'm not sure. Very mysterious. So while there's all this inter-soul captain squabbling, of course the real threat is at their doors, and now we've got now we've got the new captain, the guy with the funky hat, which I already, Kampachi. We've got two captains now, like Renji was a lieutenant, and obviously all the other people were lower ranked, but ready to take on our team. But that was it. Thank you so much, and if you did like my video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you know when I drop another one. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.